If you're planning to buy a house in Waverley, Melbourne, then today's report is tailor-made for you. I'll be giving a comprehensive overview of Waverley from various data perspectives. This video is quite long, so I recommend you like and save it. First, let's start with the most basic market conditions. Let's take a look at the price trends in this area first. The median price for houses is around 1.65 million, while the median price for units and townhouses is about 1.09 million. This is a very typical price for a blue-chip suburb, relatively stable and not excessively high. So, what is the fundamental logic supporting Waverley's prices? First of all, Waverley can be considered a Chinese community. It is located southeast of Melbourne's CBD, about 20 kilometers from the city centre. This geographical location is undoubtedly one of the key factors supporting the area's strong property prices. Not only is it the core of the city of Monash, but it also has very convenient transportation, with 2 train stations, Waverley and Jordanville. In addition, there are highways nearby, as well as well-established commercial and educational resources. All of these form the solid foundation for Waverley's property prices. Moreover, the large green spaces, wide streets, and the typical blue-chip neighborhood atmosphere attract many families with children to settle here long-term. Commercial and daily life revolve around Waverley Village and Pinewood Shopping Centre, making it a very comfortable place to live. Next, let's look at household income and mortgage pressure. The median household income in Waverley is 2,066 Australian dollars per week. In terms of household income, the median household income in Waverley is expected to reach around 2,678 Australian dollars per week by 2026, while the average price of a detached house is about $1.55 million. So if we do the math, we find that the affordability ratio is as high as 11.2 times, which means homebuyers may face tremendous pressure when purchasing a property. And the mortgage data paints the same picture, especially since the projected mortgage to income ratio in 2026 is expected to exceed 30%. I previously made a video saying that when this indicator exceeds 30%, it becomes a curse for the Melbourne property market. Once it goes over 30%, the price growth in that area is never good. If you're an investor, you need to be very cautious. As a blue-chip area, Waverley has limited land resources. Units only account for about 20%, with houses on large plots of land being the main type of property. In the past 10 years, house prices rose by 32.41%, almost the same as putting money in the bank. Most families buying in Waverley do so for education and convenience, not capital appreciation. Official statistics from 2021 show Waverley's population is about 35,000, with around 13,800 houses. This gives a population to dwelling ratio of 2.5 to 1, which is healthy and suggests a slight housing shortage. Waverley is highly multicultural, with many Asian families, especially Chinese and Indian. These families value their children's education and are willing to pay more for quality educational resources. Properties around Waverley Secondary College are in extremely high demand due to the advantages of the school zone. This not only keeps housing demand in the area consistently high, but also leads many families to settle here long-term after purchasing a home, resulting in a very low turnover rate. With a 76% owner occupancy rate, this is clearly evident. So for investors, what we have to look at is the rental yield and the rental market. According to current data, the average time a house stays on the market before being sold is 30 days. This is a relatively average figure, not particularly hot, but not particularly cold either. The rental market, on the other hand, is relatively stable, with a vacancy rate of only 1.1%, which is well below the 2% warning line. However, we have to point out that based on the rent and property prices, the rental yield is only 2.2%, which is a very low rental yield. If you take out a loan at 6% interest to get a rental return of only 2.2%, your cash flow will be a disaster. So if you plan to live in Waverley yourself, it's a very good choice. But if you're thinking of investing in Waverley, especially as a passive investor planning to hold long-term and hoping for passive capital appreciation, then you should think twice. Now, looking more closely, the value of Waverley's core areas cannot be ignored, especially for families who care about their children's education. There is a clear premium between properties inside and outside the school zone. Unfortunately, even if you pay a premium to buy a property in the school zone, you won't necessarily be able to sell it at a much higher price in the future, so in terms of investment returns, there's no real difference. Besides school zones, areas near commercial centres and train stations are also hotspots to note. For example, Leith Road or Stevenson Road are close to Waverley Village Shopping Centre and have train stations nearby, offering high convenience for daily life. If buying to live in, you may prefer somewhere near green spaces. However, in this area, avoid properties close to major roads, especially highways, as they may have air and noise pollution. Some high-density social housing developments may also have an impact on the prices of surrounding properties. For example, there is a high-density senior social housing project with 96 units located on High Street, which could lead to issues like traffic congestion and parking difficulties, so you should choose carefully. Overall, Mount Waverley is a great area for owner-occupiers, but from an investment perspective, passively buying an old house on a large block just to collect rent and hope for appreciation doesn't really work. You need to take a more proactive approach, such as renovating old houses or demolishing and rebuilding. Here is a regional map our team created showing bushfire zones, flood areas, and vegetation protection zones clearly. I hope this video has helped you understand the market trends in this area and support you in making a more informed home buying decision in Mount Waverley. I'm Teacher Jin, and you're welcome to join us at Home Buyer Jun in Melbourne. Like and follow and leave a comment below to let me know which area you'd like me to analyze for you.